Orthodox Christian Fellowship graduates, congratulations. What a milestone, such a significant milestone, and you've achieved it in the midst of a pandemic, of a crisis like we've never seen before. So congratulations. Congratulations to you for your effort, your commitment, and congratulations to your family and your friends and all of those that supported you as you moved through this journey to achieve this milestone. Well, as I think about you graduating in 2021, I have to think back to my college graduation. It was 40 years ago this month, May of 1981. I graduated from a small private college in Atlanta, Oglethorpe University. And I have to say, things were a lot different graduating in 1981 from your experience, I think, in 2021. First of all, when I got my assignment from the professor, it wasn't posted online. It was given on paper or shared verbally in the classroom. And then when it was time to do the research, I had to look at books because there was no internet to do research. And then when it came time to actually create a term paper, I had to do it sitting down with an electric typewriter. No laptops at that point. You haven't had that experience. However, there's some things I think you may have experienced that might have been similar to what I experienced in 1981. How you faced challenges and took advantage of opportunities. I think about financial assistance. For me, scholarships and financial aid. Perhaps some of you have had that support that makes such a difference. I had to work part-time when I was in school to be able to pay expenses. I started as an hourly restaurant team member just before I started college, and I worked for Chick-fil-a as an hourly restaurant team member the entire time I was in school. Maybe you've had to work through school as well. I lived at home, I commuted. Some of you lived on campus, some of you commuted, connected with my family, and then also worked hard to stay connected to the life of the church during the course of my time in college. I think that's such an example of what so many of you have been through during your 4 years. Staying connected to your family, staying connected to the life of the church, while you've worked through challenges academically, and in many cases, economically as well. So my heartiest congratulations to each one of you. Now, as I do think about it, those 40 years that have passed since graduation for me to your graduation this year, honestly, I've done a lot of life over those 40 years. Marie and I have celebrated 30 years of being married. 2 sons that have been born, Luke and Nicholas, that are now 25 and 23 years old. And still 40 years later, I still work for Chick-fil-a. And over those 40 years and having that experience, I feel like I've got some things that I want to share with you. Some tips or words of advice that as you face challenge and opportunities, what are ways to navigate that uncertainty and to do it with care and to do it with confidence? So 4 tips for you. Tip number 1, keep learning. Now, whether what you've just accomplished in college will be the last formal classroom you'll ever be in, or whether you're going on to graduate school, law school, medical school, social work, whatever is next for you from an academic standpoint or a professional standpoint, keep learning. So whether it's formal or informal, keep learning. Be a student, be a lifelong learner. Why? Because as we learn, we can contribute more. It fuels our own growth, but it also fuels that we can contribute to others. Now, don't forget, if you want to keep learning, you got to be humble. You have to be humble enough to say, I still have plenty of areas to learn and grow, so keep learning. Tip number 2, work hard. I learned it when I was a restaurant team member at Chick-fil-a. I've still tried to apply that today. I saw the example of my owner-operator who I worked for in the Chick-fil-a restaurant. I saw it in the example of the founder of Chick-fil-a, Truett Cathy, that hard work makes a difference. Not only does hard work bring out our best, but actually when we work hard as a team, then we can make a difference. So work hard. It'll help you grow and navigate the uncertainty that lies ahead. Third, give back. You've been blessed with a college degree. You've worked hard to get to this milestone, but don't forget, not everyone has that college degree. It's a gift. And I encourage you to multiply that gift by sharing what you've learned, what you've accomplished with others. As you finish school, start from the very first month and year that you're out of college to give back to the communities that you've been part of. It's been a blessing for me. I'm still part of my Oglethorpe University community and clearly still connected with family and church, trying to give back in all of those areas because I was blessed and I know you feel blessed as well with what you've experienced the last few years. And then 4th, most importantly, stay faithful. Stay faithful. As you move through the journey of life from graduation and into the future, stay faithful. Stay connected to Christ and His church. And I encourage you to do it on a daily basis. If I were to tell you a couple of keys for me of staying faithful were daily habits. Morning prayer, each and every morning. Reading the gospel, the epistle, each and every day. And for 40 years, actually, because I started in college and have continued, reading from the book of Proverbs every day. There's 31 chapters in the book of Proverbs. So there's a chapter that matches each day of the month. And so for me, I've read the book of Proverbs day after day, 12 months a year for 40 years to try to build God's wisdom into my life for guidance and direction. So stay faithful and do it daily. So again, congratulations. You've been faced with challenges and you've overcome so many. You'll continue to be faced with both challenges and offered opportunities, and I encourage you to navigate those with care and confidence. How? By continuing to learn, by working hard, by giving back, and most importantly, by staying faithful. I want to close my message to you with this, and it does come from the book of Proverbs. It comes from chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. And when you are faced with those challenges, when you're faced with opportunities, lean on this verse, chapter 3, verse 5, and verse 6 as well. And here's what it says. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. It's a promise, and it's an invitation. So, my very, very best to you. Again, congratulations. I encourage you to seek wisdom, guidance, and direction as you move through this journey. God bless and Godspeed.